Ram trucks have a weird reputation. Guys either swear by them or swear at them, and honestly, both sides are right, because some Rams are genuinely bulletproof. We are talking 300,000 miles, original engine, no headache. But there are a handful of model years that will absolutely eat you alive in repair costs. I have watched owners dump $8,000 to $10,000 into trucks that never should have had those problems in the first place. These are the 3 worst and 4 best Ram models to own. Let's start with the bad news and get it out of the way. Worst number 3, the 2013 Ram 1500. This was the year Ram introduced the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. And look, I actually love that transmission. It ended up being one of the best automatics ever put in a truck. BMW uses it, Bentley uses it, Rolls-Royce uses it, but that first year in the Ram was rough. Owners reported harsh shifting, hesitation when pulling away from a stop, and an annoying delayed engagement where you put it in drive and the truck just sat there thinking about it for a second before actually moving. Some trucks would slam into gear so hard it felt like getting rear-ended at a red light. The problem was calibration. ZF built a great gearbox, but the software Ram used to control it was not dialed in yet. The transmission itself is solid, but the computer controlling it was basically learning on the job in 2013. If you are looking at a 2013 model on a used lot and the price seems too good, there is probably a reason. The transmission might shift fine on a test drive when everything is warmed up, but cold starts in winter are where these things really show their ugly side. That first shift from park to drive on a cold morning can feel like the truck is falling apart. Quick tip if you already own one: make sure your transmission fluid has been changed. Not flushed, changed. The factory fill on these early 8 speeds was not great, and fresh ZF lifeguard fluid can actually smooth out a lot of those shift complaints. That service runs around $750 to $1,200 at a dealer, or about $300 if you do it yourself with the right pan and filter kit. And if you really want to go the extra mile, get the PPE heavy-duty aluminum transmission pan. It holds 2 extra quarts of fluid and lets you reuse the filter instead of buying the entire pan assembly every time. But a clunky transmission is one thing. Our next truck has problems that are way weirder. Worst number 2, the 2011 Ram 1500. If you have never heard of the TIPM, you are lucky. It stands for Totally Integrated Power Module, and it is basically the brain that controls all the electrical systems in your truck. The fuel pump, the horn, the windows, the starter, the wipers, everything runs through this one module mounted in the engine bay. And in 2011, this thing lost its mind. Owners reported their horns going off randomly in the middle of the night. Windows rolling down by themselves while the truck was parked. Fuel pumps that would not shut off even after you pulled the key out. Some people could not even start their trucks in the morning because the TIPM had completely locked up overnight. The replacement cost is anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 depending on whether you go dealer or aftermarket. And the really frustrating part is that Ram never issued a recall for this, even though Jeep recalled the exact same part in their vehicles. So 2011 Ram owners got stuck paying out of pocket for a known factory defect. If you see a 2011 on a used lot and the seller says it just needs a new battery or a minor electrical fix, walk away. It is almost certainly a TIPM problem, and that is not a minor fix. Now here is the one I really want you to avoid. Worst number 1, the 2014 Ram 1500. This is the truck mechanics talk about when someone asks which Ram to never buy. Over 2,500 complaints filed with NHTSA, 14 recalls, and over 900 technical service bulletins. That is not a typo. This truck had more documented problems than almost any vehicle on the road that year. So what went wrong? Everything, basically. 2014 was the first full year of the 8-speed automatic, which was still having the shifting issues from 2013. It was also the debut year of the 3-liter EcoDiesel 5.6, which looked great on paper but turned into a disaster in the real world. The high-pressure fuel pump in those EcoDiesels is known to fail catastrophically and send tiny metal shavings through the entire fuel system. We are talking $3,000 to $6,000 just for the fuel pump and related cleanup. Some trucks needed the whole fuel system replaced, and if you got the 5.7 Hemi in the 2014, you were not safe either. That engine has a ticking problem caused by the lifters in the MDS system, which is the cylinder deactivation feature that shuts down 4 cylinders to save fuel. The roller bearings inside those lifters can seize up, score the camshaft, and send metal through the oil. The repair bill for a cam and lifter replacement runs $5,000 to $7,000 at a dealer. On a 2014, that is often more than the truck is worth. This is a costly failure. On top of all that, the Hemi exhaust manifold bolts love to snap on these trucks. The cast iron manifolds are bolted to aluminum heads with steel fasteners, and after thousands of heat cycles, those metals expand at different rates until something gives. You hear a ticking noise on cold start that goes away when the engine warms up, and a lot of people mistake it for the lifter tick. If you catch it early, it is a $600 to $800 fix. If the bolt breaks off flush with the head, now you are looking at over $1,300 in machine work just to extract it. So the 2014 was hit from every angle. Bad diesel, lifter problems on the Hemi, snapping manifold bolts, and a transmission that was still being sorted out. If someone offers you a 2014 Ram at a great price, now you know why it is so cheap. All right, enough bad news. Let us talk about the Rams that are actually worth your money. If you are finding this helpful, hit subscribe. I break down truck maintenance tips and buyer guides like this every week so you can save money and avoid the stuff that costs you thousands. Now let us get into the good ones. Best number 4, the 2022 Ram 1500. This is what a lot of Ram guys call the peak of the 5th generation truck. By 2022, Ram had 5 full years of production on this platform, and just about everything was sorted out. The interior is still the best in any full-size truck. The ride quality with that coil spring rear suspension is smooth enough that your passengers might forget they are in a pickup. But here is what makes the 2022 special. It was the last year you could get the 5.7 Hemi without the eTorque mild hybrid system and still get the updated Uconnect 5 infotainment. Fewer electronics means fewer things to break down the road, and if you are doing your own maintenance, a standard Hemi without the 48-volt eTorque battery and motor generator unit is just simpler to work on. You will pay around $30,000 to $45,000 for a clean 2022, depending on the trim and mileage. But for a truck that is essentially the most refined version of this generation, that is solid money. One thing to watch for though, if you are looking at a Rebel, Limited, or Longhorn trim, they come with AIR suspension. And while that ride quality is incredible, those air springs and compressors have a shelf life. Some owners report issues as early as 50,000 to 70,000 miles, and a dealer repair runs over $2,000 per incident. A lot of long-term owners end up converting to a traditional coil spring setup when the air system finally gives out, which costs around $900 to $2,200 and eliminates the problem permanently. So if you want the lowest long-term maintenance costs, stick with a Bighorn or Laramie on standard springs. Best number 3, the 2006 and 2007 Ram 2500 with the 5.9-liter Cummins diesel. There is a reason these trucks command crazy prices on the used market. They were the last 2 years of the 5.9-liter Cummins before emissions equipment became mandatory. That means you do not have a diesel particulate filter clogging up, no exhaust gas recirculation system to deal with, and you will never have to buy a single gallon of diesel exhaust fluid. Just a straight-up inline-6 diesel engine that makes 325 horsepower and 610 pound-feet of torque with a fuel system that actually holds up. The earlier 5.9 trucks from 1999 through 2001 had the VP44 injection pump that liked to fail around 150,000 miles. But the 2006 and 2007 models got the Bosch CP3 pump, which is significantly more reliable and can handle high mileage without drama. Pair that with the 6-speed manual transmission if you can find one, and you have a truck that people regularly drive past 300,000 miles. These go for anywhere from $11,000 to $25,000 depending on condition and mileage, and clean ones are only getting more expensive. If you find one that has been maintained, grab it. They are not making any more of them. Best number 2, the 2020 Ram 1500. The 2019 model was the first year of the 5th generation Ram, and like every first year, it had problems. Almost 2,000 NHTSA complaints and 28 recalls. The e-torque system was leaving trucks stranded while owners waited months for replacement parts. The 2020 fixed most of that. It is actually the only 5th generation model year that was not covered by the ABS recall that affected the other years, which tells you something about the build quality of that specific production run. You could still option it with a standard 5.7 Hemi without e-torque, which I always recommend if you plan to keep the truck long-term. Use 2020 models run around $25,000 to $45,000, and if you find a Bighorn or Laramie Crew Cab 4x4 with the non-e-torque Hemi, you are looking at one of the most reliable configurations in the entire 5th generation lineup. That is the sweet spot. How do you tell if it has e-torque? Check the sticker on the driver door jamb or look under the hood on the passenger side. If you see a small black box mounted near the firewall with orange high voltage cables running to it, that is the 48-volt battery for the e-torque system. No orange cables, no e-torque. Simple as that. Best number 1, the 2017 Ram 1500. This is the one I recommend more than any other Ram truck. By 2017, the 4th generation platform had been in production for 8 years. Every major issue had been addressed. The ZF 8-speed finally had its shift calibration dialed in perfectly. The 5.7 Hemi received updated roller lifters with larger needle bearings from a new supplier, which dramatically reduced the lifter tick failures that plagued earlier years. The annual repair cost on a 2017 averages just $568. That is the lowest of any Ram model year. You can find a Bighorn or SLT Crew Cab 4x4 with the Hemi for anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000 depending on mileage and condition. For that money, you are getting a truck with a proven engine, a proven transmission, a proven platform, and repair costs that are lower than trucks that cost twice as much. If you want a Ram that just works, the 2017 is it. When you are shopping for one, listen for any ticking at startup. Even though the updated lifters are much better, the Hemi is still the Hemi. A cold start tick that goes away in 30 seconds is usually just the exhaust manifold bolts and not a huge deal. But a tick that stays after the engine is warm, especially from the passenger side of the engine, could mean lifter issues down the road. Ask for maintenance records and look for a truck that had regular oil changes with the correct 0W 40 weight oil. The Hemi is picky about oil weight, and guys who ran the wrong stuff tend to have problems sooner. Now, one quick bonus tip before I let you go. No matter which Ram you buy, change your transmission fluid every 50 to 75,000 miles. I know Stellantis calls it a lifetime fill, but ZF, the company that actually builds the transmission, recommends regular service. And Stellantis quietly defines lifetime as 100,000 miles, which ZF considers producing acceptable rates of failure. A $750 fluid change now saves you a $4,000 transmission rebuild later. That is the cheapest insurance you will ever buy for your truck. If you want to know the maintenance mistakes that kill Ram trucks the fastest, check out the video on screen. I will see you in the next one.